Entertainment magazine editor and author Lori Majewski shares her lust for lists with you now.
Hey, First Wavers, Lori Majewski here, and there's a lot of holidays that we celebrate on this show. We celebrate Happy New Year and Memorial Day's coming, but before we get to Memorial Day, we have World Goth Day. World Goth Day is May 22nd. It's a real thing. And just in case you didn't believe me, I have a real live goth here with me today. He's also co-founder of The Cure. Not too shabby. He's a newly inducted member of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the author of an upcoming goth book. So I think we got the right guy, right, Lowell Tolhurst?
I'd hope so. I think I have the right credentials, right?
Did you realize that World Goth Day was a thing, or did it take me to tell you?
No, somebody told me last year, and I was, is that, do Hallmark make cards for that and stuff? I wanted to know if there was some other, angle to it, but apparently no, it's a real thing.
It is a real thing. Happy World Goth Day. So we came in with a forest, and I have to wonder, is The Cure the first goth band to be inducted into the Rock Hall? Been thinking about this.
I would say so, yeah. I mean, I can't think of anybody else that's been in there, that satisfies that kind of criteria. No,
well, what is the criteria? Tell us what the criteria is. What do you think constitutes goth sonically, lifestyle-wise? What is a goth?
Yeah, to me, my own opinion about it is it's kind of like punk with a sadder edge, because punk was really about attitude and lifestyle and the way of being. And the music, had a certain style, but, I meet goths, in quotations everywhere, but they don't all look the same. They don't all look like Fred in Portlandia when he was being goth. Some of them look like that, but, they have all kinds of, I think it's about being individualistic and also having an appreciation of the more melancholy aspects of culture.
Well, here's another goth title, Shadow of Love, and it's from The Damned. Of course, they start as a punk band. I love when they transition to goth. I love that Phantasmagoria album. How did that go down, though? Do you feel like, as someone who studies goth and is a goth himself, was that accepted? Were they accepted into the goth community right out of the gate, or was it something that they were seemingly wait, you guys were punk?
Dave's always been a bit goth, from the very beginning. So, I guess he qualifies. I mean, for me, when I think about The Damned, I always think about Scabies' mother, because she was a teacher at a school with Michael Dempsey out of The Cure and with his mother. And I always wondered whether I should call her Mrs. Scabies or, what her real name was, which I thought was probably pretty goth. But yeah, I think they qualified because of Dave,
Well, here is Shadow of Love, The Damned. Siouxsie and the Banshees, Siouxsie Sue, definitely goth. I'm Lori Majewski. This is Lust for Lists, and I have Lowell Tolhurst from The Cure with me today. He has a book coming out on goth, and it's World Goth Day, everybody. Happy World Goth Day. And Lowell, Siouxsie and the Banshees has a relationship with The Cure. What are your memories of Siouxsie? Anything that sticks out?
Yeah, quite a lot, actually. I mean, she's quite spiky, so a lot sticks out, really. No, I mean, seriously, no, yeah, we had a very, we were on the road together at a particularly important point for them and us, I think. And over the years, I continued to keep in touch with everybody, and that will become more apparent next year, actually. I'm going to be a bit, I'm not going to say anything more.
That's a tease.
It's too early, but it's a tease. But yeah, next year you'll go, oh, okay, that's why he said that. But they were really, definitely had a very, very, dark and, forbidding image and presence. And I think for us, when we first went on the road with them, it was 1979. We learnt a lot.
All right. Well, the next song is from Wire, I'm the Fly, which I'm so glad that you picked that. I was psyched.
I was singing it last night with my friend. So I decided that would be a good song.
And Wire isn't usually a singable band.
Not really, no. They're usually a bit more shouty, but that one, has a nice little rhythm.
And you think it's goth?
Oh yeah, definitely, because it's like one of those Edmund Gorey drawings. It's a little off the beaten track. It's not something you would normally think about.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's hear it. Here is "I'm the Fly" Wire. Atmosphere, Joy Division, one of the most solemn songs by that band. And it's a solemn occasion if you're listening on May 18th. That is the anniversary, the 39th anniversary of the death of Ian Curtis. And
wow.
It is. It's a sad occasion. I have Lowell Tolhurst, founding member of The Cure, with me. And Lowell, we lost Ian Curtis in 1980. And in the short time that Joy Division was together, you could say they were punk, they were post-punk, and some people would say they were goth.
Yeah, the track that you just played, Atmosphere, I was in France just before that time, and they had put out a record with a small company called Sordide Sentimental, and they put out like a very limited edition, which I think had Atmosphere on. I'm trying to think what the other song was, Dead Souls maybe. And I was in the record store where they actually made the record, and we were doing an in-store signing. And back then, the usual thing, if you did an in-store signing, whoever owned the record store, they would say, oh, just pick some records that you like if you'd like to take some records. And we go, okay. And I realized that they had made this record, so I asked them for that, and the guy very kindly gave me one of the limited edition copies of that with a lovely, beautiful hand-painted picture on the front. And it's very rare now, and I still have it.
Wow. That's really awesome. I am a major, major Joy Division fan. Absolutely major. I'm also a fan of Dead Can Dance. We're going to be playing Dead Can Dance next, the 4AD label, responsible for a number of goth bands. And I feel like Dead Can Dance also has a relationship with The Cure, with you guys.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain that they played with us at some point. I'm pretty certain. So, and actually, I still have communications with some of them. So, it's a bit of a fraternity still,
So let's play the ubiquitous Mr. Lovegrove. What do you think of this song?
It's pretty damn great.
I think so too. Here it is, Dead Can Dance. Welcome back to Lust for Lists. I'm Lori Majewski. I've got Lowell Tolhurst with me, co-founder of The Cure. And congratulations, Lowell. I just have to keep telling you, I'm so thrilled for you to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. First goth band, perhaps, to be in the Rock Hall. Congrats.
Thank you much.
How are you feeling right now? Because I talked to Roger O'Donnell a few weeks ago, and right. He says that he's about to put his Rock Hall trophy on eBay, and I got very mad at him. And I think that you're one of the ones that really recognizes the gravitas of this award.
Yeah, I'm not going to put mine on eBay, that's for sure. Actually, I would like to have mine repaired because it fell apart. I have to tell you that. That's the truth about it.
What?
Yeah, it's like the base is too heavy for the statue, so it came apart. Thank goodness it didn't fall on my foot. But yeah, I'm going to have to contact them and either get it repaired or, I have a friend that can probably repair it.
But the Rock Hall, man, you only waited 40 years for this. Please get it right.
Yeah. I think they tried, but mine's not going on eBay anytime soon.
Thank you. We just heard Sisters of Mercy, This Corrosion. And by the way, this week is Andrew Eldritch's birthday. So happy birthday, Andrew. This Corrosion, definitely a goth track, right? This is like super duper goth.
Pretty much. And I wonder if it's an oxymoron to wish anybody a happy birthday if they're goth. You probably wish them, a very serious birthday.
Well, next up we have, I think this may be a first wave premiere. We've never had, to my knowledge, this group play on Lust for Lists or First Wave, and also The Trees. And the song we're going to play is So This Is Silence. And I have to admit, I only know of them because I know that you produced them, and they also, I think Robert Smith did a remix for another song of theirs. Tell us about the band and also The Trees.
We were about to go on tour, and we decided we'd like to pick our own opening act, and they sent us a cassette. That's how long ago it was, and we all really liked it and had a very similar attitude to us. So when they asked me if I'd like to help them with their first album, I said sure. We had a lot of fun doing it.
Okay, here is And Also the Trees. So this is Silence. Nick Cave, remember he had a birthday party. Even though he's goth, he had a birthday party, and that was Release the Bats. I've got a party going on right here on Lust for Lists this week. I am Lori Majewski, and Lol, you would probably say we're not having a party here because that's not very goth, but it is World Goth Day, and that's why we have a goth playlist going. I've got Lol Tolhurst from The Cure with me, and what do you think of the birthday party? They were really seminal when it came to alternative and goth, right?
Yeah, I always liked Nick Cave. Still now, he has some relevance to everything. And yeah, they were very seminal for sure.
I feel like he's still goth today. Like true goths, do they ever grow up?
Well, no, I think they just sort of, get a little sort of eternal.
Let's move on to Cocteau Twins. And I was really glad to include them on this list because I feel like they're almost a genre unto themselves, but there's something so ethereal and, yes, dare I say goth about them. Are you a Cocteau Twins fan?
Yeah, I'm a fan and a friend of theirs. And they used to live near me in London, so would have Liz and Robin round for drinks.
Oh, well, let's hear some Cocteau Twins. Here's Lorelei. Happy World Goth Day, everybody. We're having a black celebration right here on First Wave, Lust for Lists. I'm Lori Majewski, and I'm having a celebration or an anti-celebration with Lol Tolhurst of The Cure, founding member of The Cure. And Lol, does it make you cringe that Depeche Mode's on this list? I know some people, I'm going to get some people on Facebook saying, hey, wait a minute, Depeche Mode isn't goth. But that album, it really is. It's goth adjacent for sure, right?
Right, goth adjacent. That sounds right. I mean, I know the guys in the mode, and my memory of them is sort of like early 80s, hanging out in this pub in North London that we always used to hang out. And I think they have goth credentials. For me, it's not really always about the music. It's about the attitude, same as punk. So I think, definitely.
Yeah. Well, let's hear a little bit from a band that I've actually not heard before, Baroque Bordello. Now, I have to tell you, I have a friend, Brian Greenspan, who is the biggest Cure fan that I know. When I said to him that you and I were putting together this playlist, he said, Lol would love it if you put Baroque Bordello on there. So why don't you tell me why? I know you produced them, but how did they come into your orbit?
I had a French girlfriend at the time, and
oui.
Yes, so you threw me off there. Yeah, so that's kind of like when Cindy, my wife Cindy, when she does Lady Penelope's voice, and she's a Californian, it sounds really difficult for me. So, yes, Baroque Bordello, they came into my orbit because I was in France a lot. I spent a year in Paris. And, in that time, that was sort of almost immediately after the end of the pornography tour. So I had some spare time. And so I went to Paris and recorded one band, the Bonapartes, very French name. And I recorded Baroque Bordello in London because they asked me and because they were very good. And we had a wonderful time.
And we're going to play now the song Today.
Yes, that's the best one.
Best one and very gothy. Here it is, Baroque Bordello. So there it is, Bauhaus. You didn't think we were going to finish Lust for Lists without some Bauhaus and the goth father, Mr. Peter Murphy. He was here on our show just a few months ago, and Bela Lugosi's dead. So I've got Lol Tolhurst with me. Thank you so much for joining me.
Absolute pleasure. Oh. Or should I just say it was very gloomy?
It was very gloomy. But on this World Goth Day, it was wonderful to have you with me. And since you're writing this book about goth music and the goth scene, it just seemed so fitting. And it's true, right, that Bauhaus, their first album, In the Flat Field, 1979, considered the first goth record, the first goth album. Do you look at it that way as well?
Pretty much so, I think. I mean, I have a little more intimate knowledge of it now, he said, teasing something out again for next year. But yes, definitely. I mean, I was talking to one person from Bauhaus, and they told me that they actually sent a copy of it to The Cure's manager, Chris Parry, just before it was released, and he said he liked it, but it was too long, he thought, which I don't think it's too long at all. You know?
What, Bela Lugosi's Dead or the album?
Right, Bela Lugosi's Dead.
Well, 9 minutes and 36 seconds, pretty long.
He was saying it's probably not, a hit single, but he was kind of wrong, because it's really the most preeminent track, I think, for the genre, in lots of ways.
Well, thank you so much for being here today, and we really are so proud of you, Lowell. We're so proud of The Cure, and we're so proud that the music that we loved so much, that we can share it with the world now, through the Rock Hall, but also every World Goth Day. Thank you.
Every World Goth Day, and I'd like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a very gloomy Goth Day.